Okay, so we're looking at a second quiz for the test coming up for Year 9, and the things I'm going to cover here are scientific notation, standard form, significant figures, some arithmetic perhaps, and some surds as well. So that's the things, and the other quiz was on Pythagoras. Okay, so what I want you to do is convert those numbers to scientific notation. I want you to pause and have a go, and when you're ready, come back live. Alright, so the decimal place is there, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is 5.38, and we've gone 4 places, so it's times by 10 to the 4. And in this particular case, we've just gone 1 place, so it's 3.506 times 10 to the minus 1. So just remember, big numbers have positives and smaller numbers have negatives. Just remember that always. Okay, let's move across. Okay, so I want you to convert those to normal numbers, standard form, normal numbers. Okay, so when you're ready, pause and come back when you're ready. Okay, so we've got 4 places to move, so we don't add 4 zeros. We've got 1, 2, so we've got 2 more places left, and then we add 2 zeros. Okay, so the 4 places, we burn 2 places to get to the end, and then there's 2 places left, and those last 2 places are zeros. Okay, so we've got a minus number, so we're going to go smaller. 1, 2, we fill it with a hole, so 0.035. So negative numbers are small, positive indices are big numbers. Okay, let's look at the next question. Okay, so just adding and multiplying in standard form, or scientific form, I beg your pardon. So can you have a go at those, and when you're ready, come back live. Okay, so in the first one, we've got 10 to the squared and 10 to the cube, so we can't add them. So what we'll do is we'll go to the higher power. So 10 squared becomes 10 cubed. So we've made that number bigger, so we have to make this number smaller to compensate. And the second number is okay, so we can put 4.91 by 10 cubed. And so the answer will be 10 cubed, so it's going to be 1. 6 and 1 is 7, 5 and 9 is 14, carry 1, so it's 5.471 times 10.3. Okay, I'm just going to pause and get a calculator. Okay, I'm back. I just had to get my calculator for this next one. So we need to multiply those numbers together to start with. So 5.83 times 3.02. So I get 17.6066. So that's the number out the front for the time being. And then I've got times 10 to the 3 times 10 cubed, 10 squared times 10 cubed. So I'm going to end up with 10 to the 5. Just add those numbers together. 2 plus 3 is 5. We're multiplying. And then this number is too big for scientific, so go back 1 spot. So I've made this number smaller, so I've got to make this number bigger. Okay, and that's the answer. Alright, let's move across to the next question. Okay, round the following to 3 decimal places and 3 significant figures. So pause, and when you're ready, come back live. Okay, you might be back. Hopefully you are. 8.147. Okay, 5.63. Okay, so I get 45.86761 on the calculator. So to 3 decimal places, it's 45.868. So that's 3 decimal places. But to significant figures, we start from the original number. So we get 45 is 2 numbers, and then this is the third number, so it's 45.9 to 3 significant figures. Okay, so with decimal places, you start from the decimal place. With significant figures, you start from the first number. Okay, square root of 18, what does that equal? Equals 4.24264. Okay, so it just keeps going and going and going. So to 3 decimal places, it's 4.243, so that's 3 decimal places. And to 3 significant figures, it's 24. Okay. Again, there's a video on significant figures if you want to watch that, if you haven't understood it. Let's move on. Okay, so simplify those surds. Okay, when you're ready, come back live. Okay, on your calculator, square root of 25 is 5, so that's the end of that question. That was nice and easy. Now 28 is 4 sevens inside the square root sign, so the answer will be just 2 root 7. Okay. 8 is 4 times 2 inside a square root sign. Now that 3 is still a 3, and then the square root of 4 is 2, and then we've got the root 2 that we can't calculate. That 2 doesn't go anywhere, and then 3 times 2 is 6. Now this one's a really big number, but we end up with 64 times 2 is 128. So the answer is just 8 root 2, because the square root of 64 is 8, and you can't square root 2. Alright, moving on. Okay, which of the following numbers are rational and why? So there's an answer, yes, no, or rational, yes, rational, no, and why. So if you need to, check your notes, but come back when you're ready. Okay, so this number's a fraction, so a fraction's rational. Okay, that's straightforward. Okay, this number here is a recurring decimal. And as soon as you have a recurring decimal, they're rational straight away. Next one, the answer is just 3, and that's a whole number, so it's an integer, and integers are rational. But the last one, square root of 10, on your calculator, you get 3.16227, and that is irrational, because the decimal does not terminate or recur. So the decimal doesn't terminate and doesn't recur, it's irrational. Okay, moving on. Friends, fractions, decimals, percentages. So you need to fill in the table with those numbers. Use your calculator. Actually, I'm not sure if you're using calculator. Let me check. No, this section here is not calculator, so you need to do these without a calculator. Alright? See how you go. Okay, so again, some of these ones are straightforward. Like 3/4 is just 0.75, and 0.75 is 75%. Okay, so if you're not sure how to do it, 4 into 3.0, so 4 into 3 doesn't go, decimal place goes up. 4 into 30 goes 7, 2 remainder. 4 into 20 goes 5, so 3/4 is 0.75, and then to go from there to there, you just multiply by 100, so you get 75%. Okay, so this one here, this column is called the hundredths column, so it's 5 over 100, and that cancels down to 1 over 20. And then to get the percentage, just go forward 2 places, so we get 5%. Okay, in the last one, 2.5% is 2.5%, and go back 2 places, so the decimal is 0.25, so go 2.5 becomes 2.5%, then go back 2 places. Okay, this column here is called the thousandths, so it's 25 over 1,000, and then 25 into 25 goes once, 25 into 100 goes 4, and then we've still got that last 0, so we end up with 1 over 40. Okay, moving on. Okay, next question, problem with percentages and fractions. So 25% of a class of 24 are over 150, 1/5 of the class are less than 140. What percentage are between 140 and 150? Okay, so have a go, pause when you're ready, come back. Okay, we're back. So 25% over 150, some percent between 140 and 150, and the last one is 1/5. Now 1/5 is 20%, and they're the students less than 140. Okay, so I got 20% here, I got 25% there, so I've got 45%. Okay, which means that this percentage must add up to 100, so 55% of the girls are between 140 and 150. And if you want to know what the number was, you multiply that by 24, and that would give you 0.55 times 24. That would give you 13.2 girls. So I don't have a sensible answer, but if I had an answer that made more sense, that would be the right answer. So that doesn't make sense, does it? Oh yeah, because the trouble is I had 20%, and you can't get 20% of 24. So that's why I had a silly answer, because I had a fraction that you can't get a fraction over 24. But that's the answer, 13.2, if there was a question. Okay, moving on. And that's the last one. So between those two quizzes, hopefully you had a good idea of what we're doing. Okay, bye.